Hey guys, Bryson here. Welcome to my show, and today we're gonna be reacting to. By the way, I love this story, but I don't know the story. But I read the description and some comments, so I guess I know the story. But it sounds like this couple only made around 56K, but eliminated. That's the word. Eliminated around $126,000 in debt, and then COVID hit, and then I don't know what happens next, okay? So that's why I also want to watch this video and find out exactly what happens, guys, okay? But overall, you guys know what's up, okay? I post videos every single day, so make sure to also subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified. On top of that, also destroy the like button. Without further ado, let's see exactly what this couple does with their money.
When I got those two jobs, never once did I think that I would be back in a position where I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not making any money.
Gotta keep fighting.
I mean, you know, by the way, I think it's a tiny house, right? I think it said tiny house in the description, but I didn't think it was gonna be like a real tiny house. This is a real tiny house.
You know, financially and keep, you know, striving to get to a more stable place, because a lot of the things that we feel security in can be gone in an instant.
Exactly, especially when you borrow on everything, right? That's the big part of it. If you don't own anything, you just borrow to buy everything. You lease your vehicle, you lease your phone, you buy a massive house you can't afford for like the next 30 years. It's a big problem. This couple was living on 56K in Dallas, Texas. And by the way, 56K is a lot of money anywhere. It's a lot of money. But combined income 56K, half and half, I don't like it that much, okay? Because now we're talking about, for example, like 25 most likely, or 26, 27 like per person. Where's all this money going? That has me a little confused. It's like one person earning all the money, or is like one working and the other one not? Like, what's going on here? Here's how they spent their money before and after the pandemic. You know, people came out of the pandemic, man, thinking really different about money. With some sense, it'd be a blessing in disguise. I don't like onion rings, and I see onion rings here. I don't like them.
My name is Kotnesa Bush. I'm 20.
I wish they made onion rings without onions. Whoa. I know that sounded weird, but hear me out. Like the actual ring, right? But the onions are basically like, I don't know, like they're blended at first, so like you don't have to like the texture of an onion, right? That's the idea. So blended onion rings in the shape of onion rings. I told you guys I'm picky, man. I told you.
8 years old.
My name is Marique Bush, and I'm also 28.
Awesome.
Together we make $56,000 a year.
And we live in Dallas, Texas.
Wow, these are all tiny homes. It's like a tiny home neighborhood. How do you guys feel about living in a tiny home? I don't like it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like the idea of living in a tiny home. I can't stand this tiny room that I live on right now, right? But I don't need like a massive house, but I do need space to like, you know, have like breathe. And on top of that, also have like my kids and have like a backyard and all these things matter a lot to me. A lot to me. Kelso was earning 20K as a server. Well, that job is out of the bank, right? Because basically, guess what? Servers, no restaurants. How you gonna make money? You can't. Okay, so I get that. Mark was earning $36,000 a year as a theft and fraud investigator for a national. Okay, so that probably did not go anywhere, right? Nowhere, because that job is still solid, rock solid, most likely. Now, one thing I would love to see is basically that while he's working, she maybe gets like a degree in something that can actually earn her a lot more money, all right? So it's a big sacrifice, I know. If they're married, it makes sense. But if they're not, then it's kind of like, what if she leaves me, right? But if you guys are married, it's perfect sense, right? But I would do that. You know, like while I'm working, you get like a degree in like nursing or whatever you want to do. So when you do graduate, you get to make a lot more money, right? Because it'll be like from 56K to 100 something K. It's a big difference.
For the past 3 years, I've been teaching. I teach high school math. But since we've moved to Texas, I am taking the year off to get recertified and find a school home here. So in the meantime, I'm just serving while I start taking a few tests.
All right. I like this lady. Hustle, 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 hustle my buckle. Some people would have said, you know what? I'm just gonna wait a year. All right. I can't find a job. I don't know what to do, right? But she's out there doing something. I respect that a lot. So shout out to this lady, man. I don't know. I think her name is Kothny. Kothny is spelled K-O-T-H, guys. And then knee, like N-E-Y. That's why I say Kothny. Unless I'm saying it wrong. I don't know. It sounds like Courtney, but it's not Courtney. It's Kothny. So I don't know.
Yeah, my career in loss prevention started primarily with catching shoplifters, and now I've...
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love those shows when they catch like the shoplifters red-handed and they're like, "Hey, I don't steal nothing. What are you talking about? I don't steal nothing. Why are you wearing 30 pants? I just dress like this." You know, it's funny.
Kind of promoted up to a theft and fraud role where I'm basically investigating large-scale thefts and credit fraud situations.
That's awesome. In mid-February, Courtney Asa doubled her income by taking on one more job. Okay, awesome. I respect that a lot. You know, when you got no income and you got time to go out there and earn some money. You know what I'm saying? And when you do that, you pay off the debt that you have. You know, I like that a lot. And she's also gonna become a teacher, so I get that too.
I actually just recently
started
2 new jobs at the same time, serving at one place and bartending at another.
Awesome.
I was really excited, making good money. I actually also picked up some tutoring work.
But don't get too excited, right? Don't get too excited about this stuff. It's like a great like stopping point, but it's not your final destination, right? The goal is to use this money to go out there and do a lot better, right? Like become a teacher, whatever you want to do with that, or like a nurse, whatever you want to do. But don't get too excited about making too much money with those jobs, because it's too much time equals money in those jobs. Courtney and a 204 square foot tiny home that costs $55,000. That's a lot of money for this tiny little home, right? A lot of money, honestly. With like $55K, you can put a down payment on a good home that you can actually afford with your income, right? I don't like these ideas, guys, because if you're not gonna have kids, great, right? You can live this way for as long as you want to, but I don't like the idea of like just 200 square feet, guys. That's insane. It's insane. Like even for New York or Japan, it's insane. They rent land in a tiny home community. Oh, so now they're also renting land. Yeah, because I guess they bought the trailer in a way, and they have to rent the land somewhere else. I want to be the landlord there. That's a lot of money. How much does it cost?
So now we pay $500 per month to rent the lot here, and that includes all utilities except electric.
So we have a budget set for our allowance. Basically anything that...
I don't like this, guys. Because they don't have a mortgage or anything, right? So what that means to me is basically these people bought a $55,000 home for cash, right? Most likely. A tiny home, you know, you're 28 years old now. You can do whatever you want to do, but what are you going to want in like 35 years? I mean, not 35 years, and like when you're 35, right? That's the idea. I don't like it at all. So let's look at the budget here. You have savings, $740, not bad. Insurance, $696. That's a lot of money for insurance. Discretionary spending, $600. Ridiculous. Housing, $590. Ridiculous, because you're just paying for land. You'll never own it in your whole life. Groceries, $350. Not bad for 2 people. Unexpected expenses, $200. That's ridiculous. Just build an emergency account and a sink fund. I don't get it. Phone bill, $145. Ridiculous for 2 people. Gas, $130, ridiculous. Well, not bad, because you know you have to travel whatever you go, and I understand. Gym, $20. All right, guys, I don't like it. I don't like it. The tiny home includes water, sewer, trash, laundry, utilities, including Wi-Fi, electricity, and propane. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna keep this tiny house forever, which you most likely are not going to, the idea is you could have used that money to just go ahead and buy like a decent house, you know. But if you're gonna be moving around and so on and so on, everyone does whatever they want to do with their money, but you got to think about the long term. And this is not a good perspective at all. I don't like it.
Like fun that we want to do. It's been on average around like $600.
That's what I'm saying, because you spend so much money on this fun stuff, but then she's over there working 2 jobs trying to earn that money, right? So like $600 earning like her like what's it called, like the whole like servant job, whatever. That's like around like what, like 20 hours of her time, like 50 hours of her time. It's a lot of time just gone right off the bat.
So we started with $125,000 worth of debt, and now we have 0.
I guess it is cool, right? It is cool. But will you maintain this lifestyle for a very long time? Can you see yourself getting pregnant and having kids in this tiny home? Where are you going to put them in the kitchen, right? I'm making fun here, but it's kind of like long-term perspective. You know, the idea of becoming debt-free is very important, right? But it's also becoming debt-free, but also having like comfort in life, right? When I say buy a home, 50-year mortgage, 30% of your monthly income, it's a way to buy a home that takes care of you. It's going to be in your family for like a very long time. But things like this, that $55,000 is a lot of money. Can you resell this? For how much money can you? Does it appreciate? No, it doesn't, most likely. What do? You know, it's an interesting topic.
that I was telling him like we need to buckle down and like start getting out of debt, and he was like, no, we're young, let's live it up. And so our first 2 years of marriage, we kind of just
they're married, awesome.
Like spent money and like did.
Oh, he used to be a lot more skinnier, and then he got more chubbier with that job. That's one thing about desk jobs, you know. If you don't take care of yourself, you start to lose yourself.
Like crazy trips. We started with lots of debt. I think about 12 debt accounts. We had several credit cards, different pieces of furniture that.
Yeah. And by the way, this tiny home, it's not that bad. I'm not gonna lie here. Like, you have the kitchen, living space, everything you actually need. Like the bedroom is upstairs, but kids though, right? That's the one thing that has me worried here.
Being financed, we also had our student loans, both of them, both of our cars.
It's insane, man. Everybody just borrows everything. Just borrow for everything. You want to go to school, borrow money. You want to get a car, borrow money. You want to go on a trip, borrow money. Before you know it, all your income's going to the debt collector. It's a problem.
Then later into the journey, we bought the tiny house, and so that was our last piece of debt that we willingly went into, and then we were like, no more after that.
The couple cut down on expenses and picked up side hustles, working at Domino's. Is this embarrassing? No. I respect the heck out of this man. Having a job and also, for example, working at Domino's or Uber Eats, whatever it is doubling down. You know, saying like, hey, let me earn some extra money to get out of this mess I'm actually in. Because once I'm done with this, I have more freedom. I respect that a lot. Honestly, I respect it so much.
Serving as a waitress was the most lucrative for her, and doing pizza delivery was the most lucrative for me.
We really stopped doing anything but working in order for us to spend time with each other. I would go after work and go sit in the car while he drives around and like delivers pizzas.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I respect that. You know, it's Muhammad Ali says, don't quit now. You keep going, and in the end, you'll end up a champion, right? I butchered the quote, as you guys can see. I got it in my whole back wall right here, and I still mess with the quote, okay? But the idea is that, yeah, sacrifice, and then eventually you'll be good to go. I'm just not very happy about this tiny home purchase, honestly. I'm not happy about it.
It was like our, together time.
Courtney lost her servicing job in mid-March 2020. Yeah, that's when everything shut down. I get it. Man, this guy can barely walk there, man. Like, he's like right there on the roof. When both the restaurants and the bar closed, yeah, I get it. And they're cooking at home, guys. So this couple right here is all about home cooking, not going out that well, kinda not, right? Because they're also spending, for example, $600, right? And doing stuff like this, like going out every month. So I don't know what's going on there, but yeah.
Since school is also closed as well, I'm not tutoring right now. Right now, jobless.
You know, my job just announced today that they were closing all stores. Fortunately, it is with pay for the next.
Wow, that is scary. You know, I read this quote on Instagram. Sometimes Instagram is useful, you know, and it was what was this guy's name? I don't know his name, guys, but the guy from Dumb and Dumber, for example, the green mask guy, Jim Carrey, I think his name is, and he said, you know, people think that you can only fail at what you want to do. We can also fail at what you don't want to do. For example, if your dream is to be like a YouTuber, you can fail at that, yeah, but you can also fail at being an accountant, right? You can get fired. So that's the real thing. So it might as well just go, for example, for what you actually want to do. So it reminds me a lot of me in a way, right? But the point is that that's scary. Being no job, you do get paid, but you got to go out there and hustle. And you're going to be paying this land forever because basically you don't own this land. It's like renting in a sense, right? I don't like this tiny home one bit. I'm mad, honestly.
Next 2 weeks. I don't know what that looks like after those 2 weeks.
Throughout the whole debt process, we've learned how to not spend money. And so now we're able to snap back and do the exact same thing that we were doing before and not really feeling the pinch of it.
I don't like that. You know, as much as I'm cheap, guys, I'm not cheap. I'm more frugal. There's a difference. But the idea is that as much as I'm frugal, I don't want to, like, the whole goal is, right, you suffer now, right? So tomorrow you can live the rest of your life as a champion. But it's not like, hey, I'm a champion today, but tomorrow I got to go back to that same thing, right? I don't want to keep suffering like this. You know what I mean? So the point is that once, like, the finance thing takes into account, right, you got to figure out exactly what you're going to do here. It's not to go rewind. No, you got to figure out exactly you can't be comfortable in a bad situation. So once you get back on point, don't spend that extra income on nonsense. This tiny home stuff sounds cool, but I don't like it. Like long-term perspective. What about depreciation, right? What happens with that? When you have kids, what happens with that, right? What are you gonna do here? I don't like it, and it's sad because I like this couple so much because they're so frugal, so hardworking, but if you're spending all your money in the wrong places and you have the wrong strategy, no matter how hard you work, you're not gonna move forward. It's harsh, I know, but they can do a lot better than this.
Monthly, when we scrap our budget all the way down to the very minimal amount.
By the way, they're also Christian, I think, because they're giving away 10%. They're teething, I think, so they're also Christian most likely. They'll probably follow Dave Ramsey a lot, okay, and that's fine, by the way. But by the way, a budget has 4 walls, which is basically shelter, transportation, utilities, and lastly also groceries, right? Those are the 4 walls to a budget. Everything else you don't really need. I get it though; they're not that bad off, but this housing thing, man, it's like I paid off my house, but I'm still paying the land. Like, how does that make sense? You know, you got to figure out a way to end this. End it.
It's about $2,000 a month. So if this went on for 3 months, we'd need about $6,000 in cash flow in order to just stay stable and to not touch any emergency.
I don't like drumsticks.
Fund savings or anything like that.
The couple has 5. Yeah, look at this, guys. So they have literally like 2 months worth, right? It's scary. It's so scary, right? But imagine, for example, imagine this, okay? Imagine, for example, maybe she would have gotten, for example, a trade job or something like that to go ahead and earn more money, or find like a different skill. But also imagine, for example, they would have bought a house and paid off very fast, very quickly. So it's just, for example, the insurance and, for example, also like the tax on the property. That's it. So now it's like a lot lower than what their housing cost actually is. With the extra money they made, imagine, for example, that they invested that, a lot more money invested over that long period of time, it would have been a lot better off. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Everything has an order, but it's scary. This is very scary, honestly.
And so at the end of the day, we'll need to get some jobs, like figure out some other ways to create streams of income.
There's a lot of industries that are actually, spiking in business right now.
Yes, and he's doing video editing, I think.
Now, especially the essential areas. So some of the ideas we've thought about have been jobs in logistics, maybe Amazon or FedEx, UPS.
These are all amazing jobs, right? But that's why I say I would have loved if while they were doing this whole thing, like one was working, one would have gotten, for example, a trade job, for example, maybe in the medical field or basically the essential field. That way they would have more job security in the future. That would mean a lot more, right? So you don't have to keep doing these odd jobs, because odd jobs are great, but if you get stuck in one, it's going to be a problem. The couple bought their home for $55,000 in 2017. It's insane, honestly. It's so much money. So much money. They paid it off in 2 years later during the debt-free journey. Guys, I don't understand it. They live in Dallas, Texas. You can find a home for like $150K, $200K, right? I'm being honest here, right? Like $200,000 property. You put down maybe like the $55,000. You try to pay it off as possible, and you're done, right? Once you're done with the house, you're in a lot better position, right? But this tiny home idea, I don't like it.
We were kind of like thinking and trying to figure out, how can we, first of all, own something, get a return on investment from that thing that we're owning, and then also still have the flexibility to kind of move around. It was really just a combination of.
So does your return on investment in this tiny home, you tell me, appreciates with time? I don't know, man.
Those 3 things, and the tiny house kind of met all 3. When we're done living in it, we plan to rent it out on Airbnb.
Oh, the land is $600. The insurance, I think, is around like $400, $1,000. Airbnb this thing? Hopefully it works out for you, right? But if it doesn't, what happens then, right? It would have been a waste. When you try to sell this thing, how liquid is it? Not that liquid, right? You gotta find someone just like you that had that same idea from watching a YouTube video, right? I don't like it. Hey guys, so it turns out I made a mistake and my SD card actually ran out of space. So basically, for the rest of this video, you will no longer see my face, but just basically see exactly what I'm reacting to, and also my whole reaction and a waveform of the whole audio and so on. But I still think you should watch the whole video, because basically there is still value in it. So although you might not see my face for this video, my amazing face, you still got to hear all the value and everything else. So again, Sorry for the entire mistake, guys. I should have seen the whole SD card thing there, but I didn't, okay? So it was a mistake. Guys, let me know, though, if you enjoyed this video all the way through, if you made it all the way to the end, or if you didn't. Comment down below and let me know. Without further ado, continue this video just with audio reactions for the first time ever. Okay, bye-bye.
I ran the numbers, and at the price point per night that I'm thinking about, I think we can probably turn $35,000 to $45,000 a year off of it.
Wow, really? Really? Well, why not go ahead and rent an apartment, right? Just rent an apartment for like $900 in Dallas. That's like maybe less than $12,000 a year, and go rent it out right now and see how it does, right? It's a very hard estimate, right? That's the idea with these people. When people make these numbers, they just come out of nowhere. You know what I mean? So if you think this, why not do it right now? If I told you, Tommy, you're gonna make $40,000 by renting this room right here, I'm gonna go rent something. I wanna rent an apartment and rent this right here and make some money, right? It's passive income, right? Why not do that? Why not do that? You know what I mean?
Even on our channel just a week ago, we were like having fun, making light of, all the bulk buying of the toilet paper and all of that. And
which is still a little crazy, by the way. But
and now
I like how happy this couple is. I like it a lot.
1 week later, it's like, wow, like our actual jobs are gone, and we've never
no joke
seen anything like this in our adult working lives. With SARS, we were,
I make YouTube videos, and I wholeheartedly understand that at any moment I can make $0 on YouTube. That's why since the inception of this YouTube channel, I have been investing roughly 95 to 99% of all my money. Every dollar I make from YouTube is invested. Why? Because when this money stops, I need to have passive income come in so I can have that money to then go ahead and do whatever I want to do. Right? But YouTube is like what I'm going to do whether I make money or I don't make money from it. Because, again, YouTube is great, but it's not the only reason I make it is money. Right? Because it didn't make me money for a long time. That's the idea. I understand.
Kids, Y2K, we were kids. The housing crisis of 2008, we were in high school.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're kind of learning a lot, kind of going through this whole process. I would just say stay calm, take a look at where you're at, do everything you can on paper.
Yeah.
And just try to ride it.
Alright guys, so overall, that is the end of this video, man. And honestly, it's a sad, sweet taste with this couple, because I strongly believe they're going to figure this out, everything I said in this video so far. But the idea is that overall, why buy this $55,000 tiny house? It's already done. You already bought it or whatever. If I could sell it, I would sell it. If I could sell his car, I will sell it and just keep one car for the both of us, right? That's what I would do. If I could get myself a job and say, hey, you know what, honey? You go out there and you get this skill while we're married. Obviously, we're still married. Get the skill so they can do this and you can do this, then it'll be great, right? But the idea of buying this tiny home for $55,000 and being, hey, we're going to rent this out for $40,000 a year, right, per night or whatever it is. Now, imagine if that's true. Why not just go ahead and rent an apartment? It just doesn't make sense. Now, overall, guys, I'm going to be honest here. I like this video a lot. I like this couple. So I'll give it a like, but I don't like it at the same time. So it's kind of like, kind of don't like. I just won't rate it at all. That's how mad I am about this whole video, It's that somebody goes through so much sacrifice to go ahead and pay off all this debt, right? And now they're stuck in this place where it's like, what am I going to do now, right? What am I going to do now? So it worries me a lot. But overall, tell me, what would you do in this place? The answer is you need a skill. You need a skill. That's the first thing. Once you get a skill and you have income coming in, I have to consider, hey, do I want to sell this house? This tiny home or whatever it is. If I can find someone to sell this house to, I will sell it ASAP. Once I sell this, I have $55,000. That works for a down payment for a house and also to fully fund my emergency account. While I'm doing this, and also for example, my job or whatever it is, I can go ahead and say, for example, hey, all right, okay, I have my job. Everything's good. Let me try to work with my wife to pay this house off as possible. Once the house is paid off, good, great. But we've also been investing at the same time. Now you have more security, right? That's the core idea here. But on top of that, you or your wife, both of you, if you guys would both be working, it's all about, hey, let's both get some skills. Whether she wants to be a nurse or a teacher, or whether you want to be a nurse or a teacher, whatever you want to do, but finding a skill is very important. And also doing YouTube as a side hustle, but understand, hey, YouTube is great, but it's not consistent and we don't know exactly what's going to happen. That's the core idea. By the way, 7K subscribers making $500 a month is awesome, okay? It's a good sign. Keep doing it. However, don't just rely on YouTube, okay? That's the idea here. But guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Comment down below. Let me know. Am I freaking out way too much about this tiny house? What do you guys think about it? Comment down below. Let me know. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell to get notified, and comment down below any videos you want me to react to. That way I can react to them also. And on top of that, also follow my other channels, my other 2 channels, links down below, where I also post there every single day also. And also follow me on Instagram, Bryson. And before I go, guys, thanks for watching. And as always, peace. And by the way, strangely enough, guys, this ring is causing like this mark around my finger because I bought like a breathable one, but it's still giving me like the mark around my finger. So I don't know if I need to buy like a new one or whatever. Oh, the video's over. All right, peace.